Reflections on the 9-Year Plan and the Destiny of America, Part 6. Exploring paragraphs 21 through 25, Sacred Spaces, Healing Love, and the Call to Youth. Welcome, beloved friends, to Part 6 of our exploration of the September 30th, 2024 message from the National Spiritual Assembly. In this section, covering paragraphs 21 through 25, we enter a powerful and stirring culmination of the letter's message. We move from the themes of learning and accompaniment into a deeply spiritual reflection on the nature of the spaces we create, the love we extend, and the generations we empower. These paragraphs do not simply add to the discussion, they elevate it. They offer a vision of Baha'i community life as a sacred and healing force in a fractured world. Paragraph 21. Sacred spaces as cradles of civilization. Paragraph 21 opens with a bold and beautiful claim that the spaces we create through Baha'i core activities, children's classes, junior youth groups, devotional gatherings, study circles, are not just good deeds. They are sacred environments. They are what the letter calls workshops of the spirit. In them, society is being reborn. The phrase, each environment in which we are transitioning from the old to the new world order, invites us to reimagine the significance of what we do. When we gather with children to cultivate spiritual qualities, when we accompany youth in understanding their role in the world, when we come together to pray or study the writings, we are participating in the building of a new civilization. These efforts may seem small, perhaps a gathering of 3 or 4 souls. But in the sight of God, they are mighty. They are laying the spiritual and moral foundation of the New World Order. They teach cooperation, reflection, and sacrificial service. They model a life of purpose. In these spaces, individuals not only learn about unity, they experience it. And these environments are not reserved for the few. They are inclusive. They do not require eloquence or expertise, only love, sincerity, and a willingness to serve. They welcome all from every background and invite them into meaningful transformation. Paragraph 22. Havens of light for the masses. As we move into paragraph 22, the vision expands. The letter says, if sustained and multiplied, these sacred spaces will become havens for ever larger populations. Imagine that. A network of homes, classrooms, and centers across America, each one a sanctuary for the soul, each one a refuge from the noise and fragmentation of modern life. We are reminded of a powerful statement written on behalf of Shoghi Effendi, until the public sees in the Baha'i community a true pattern in action of something better than it already has, it will not respond to the faith in large numbers. The implication is clear. The world is not waiting for words. It is longing for example. The Baha'i community must embody that example in its racial justice, its loving consultation, its joyful gatherings, and its coherence of word and deed. We must be visibly different, not in appearance, but in spiritual atmosphere. People should feel when they step into our spaces that something beautiful, authentic, and transformative is happening. This is the pattern we are now called to bring into greater visibility, not to perform it, but to live it. And in so doing, we are offering a glimpse of the divine civilization destined to emerge. Paragraph 23. Healing the wound of racial prejudice. Now we enter paragraph 23, perhaps the most urgent and soul-stirring of all. The message turns to one of the 3 evil tendencies identified by Shoghi Effendi, racial prejudice. Of the 3, moral laxity, political corruption, and racial prejudice, he called the last the most vital and challenging issue. We are reminded that this challenge is not merely political, it is spiritual. The struggle against racism is not only external, it is internal. It is not only about justice in systems, it is about love in hearts. The letter quotes the July 22nd, 2020 message from the House of Justice, which says that progress on this issue will require a profound alteration of thought and action. That is no small demand. It means that the work of racial justice is not a campaign, it is a transformation. And that transformation must be powered by love. The letter puts it plainly. Ultimately, the power to transform the world is affected by love. Love originating from the relationship with the divine, love ablaze among members of a community, love extended without restriction to every human being. Friends, this is the crux of the Baha'i approach to racial justice. Not guilt, not shame, but love. A divine unifying love that flows from God, radiates in our fellowship, and extends to every soul. How does this love take root? Through what the letter calls intimate conversations, gentle, vulnerable exchanges that awaken hearts. The call is clear: you are channels for this divine love. Let it flow through you, into your neighborhoods, your families, your conversations, your relationships. Let it shape your words, soften your judgments, and guide your steps. Paragraph 24, Trials and Certainty. Paragraph 24 turns our gaze forward. It acknowledges something we all feel, that the path to world peace is uncertain. It moves forward in fits and starts. There are setbacks, there are breakthroughs, and sometimes it is hard to see the direction through the fog of events. But then comes this assurance: the ultimate outcome of a divine civilization is ordained and certain. What strength these words offer! While the pace of transformation may vary, its fulfillment is guaranteed. Our hope is not rooted in human politics or short-term wins. It is rooted in the revelation of Baha'u'llah, in the covenant, in the unfolding divine plan. The world may stumble, but the faith will rise. This paragraph invites us to embrace that long view, to be patient without being passive, to be hopeful without being naive. We are not spectators, we are participants. We are co-workers with the angels, builders of the divine civilization promised to humanity. So let us not wait. Let us arise, confident not because of our strength, but because of His. Paragraph 25, the youth must soar. And now we reach paragraph 25, addressed directly to the youth. The tone shifts into an almost poetic register. The youth are not just included in the work, they are called to soar. The letter echoes the guardian's stirring words that the greatest proof of the faith's power would come from the dedication of its youth. He called upon them to prove, through deeds of selfless service, that this cause is alive. The letter quotes the immortal phrase, "All must surge, but the youth must soar." This is not a suggestion, it is a summons. The youth are to be radiant examples of devotion, not only in teaching, but in administration, not only in planning, but in prayer, not only in study, but in sacrifice. And why are they asked to soar? Because the world is watching. The youth are the bridge to the future. They can show, through their clarity, joy, and resilience, that the Baha'i faith is the answer to the confusion of this age. Summary of paragraphs 21 through 25. Let us now gather the threads of these 5 luminous paragraphs. Paragraph 21 teaches that every Baha'i space is sacred, a workshop of the spirit where civilization is being rebuilt from the inside out. Paragraph 22 challenges us to create visible, radiant patterns of unity that the world can see and be drawn to. Paragraph 23 reveals that only love, divine, expansive, fearless love, can heal the deep wounds of racism. Paragraph 24 assures us that no matter the turbulence, the promise of a divine civilization is certain and secure. Paragraph 25 calls the youth, not to comfort but to flight, not to waiting, but to soaring. Dear friends, this section of the letter reminds us of who we are and what we are building. It tells us that every space we open, every heart we touch, every act of justice we offer is a part of something vast and holy. A divine civilization is rising, and we are its midwives. Let us continue, together with steadfastness and joy,